The payoff for all of your work is going to come 5 years later. Sorry to say, but that's the truth. You have to realize that everything that you are doing is for the long game. Because once you realize that, life becomes a lot more fun. You can wake up in the morning and think to yourself, what can I do to set myself up for the long game? What can I do later in the day, in the evening, to set myself up for tomorrow? When you start thinking about life in a 5-year trend, you will start to reap a lot of benefits, because 5 years from now, technically, is any given day, right? So today, right now, is 5 years after that date. So however you are in your life, however you're situated, is based on a decision that you made about 5 years ago. Or probably a series of decisions that you made every day 5 years ago. So start thinking about life like that. And the reason I'm saying this is because I got inspired today. Because I joined a graduate program for dentistry about 5 years ago. And I decided that I was going to put in some initiatives into place so that I can actualize my vision of society. I wanted to do that thing. Damn it, I still want to do that thing. And so I worked at it, and I fumbled, and I failed, and I had lots of fun. I made some cool friends. I succeeded. I got what I wanted out of it. I got people. And now I'm on the tail end. Now I'm thinking to myself, damn, I gotta go. How do I keep this thing keeping on, you know? How do I keep it keeping? And now I think about, 5 years from now, what could this thing be? What could this thing be 5 years from now? And what do I have to do to potentially make it that thing? And my mentor told me today, which is a beautiful lesson, and another reason why you should make friends with people that are older than you, or at least get some mentors. He told me, hey, when he gave me a metaphor for what I'm going through, more like an analogy, a story. He was telling me that there was a CEO one time that was leaving a company, and that CEO had a pretty bad way of going about leaving the company, because they decided that they wanted to be part of the process of getting a new CEO. And in the process, that CEO basically ended up having to cut ties with everyone, including friends of theirs inside of the company, in order to actualize whatever their beliefs are of what should have happened to that organization. Now, is that a failure on the CEO's part? I don't know. I don't know what their life is like. I don't know if they're happy. I don't know what they do. But it is a lesson for me. And the lesson is, when you move on, things are allowed to be different than how you did things. In fact, they have to be. That is the process of evolution, of things changing. You have to realize that 5 years from now, it has to be different, because the world is going to be different. The very people that make up the system that you are attempting to change, those people are going to be different people. Whether or not it's through firing or hiring, or literally just through personality changes and the decisions they decided to make. So live your life in a way where you are thinking, 5 years from now, what does this decision mean for me? Difficult to do. And actually very contrary to what I say to people a lot of the time when they're stressed out. But now I'm listening to Mel Robbins on Instagram, and I'm thinking to myself, and her messages are basically consistently work. Do the work. Do the work. I know you're tired. I know you're bored. I know you're lonely. I know you're unsatisfied. I don't care. Do the work. And that's the funny thing is, that's just what you have to do. You have to do the work. Every given day, you should be making some decisions that will make it so that 5 years from now, you don't feel this way as much. Although in moments, I think you're bound to. That's just the beauty of life. You know, the whole gamut of emotions is available to you. Okay. So what happens if you don't do this? I already told you. whatever. How do you go ahead and start thinking about life like this? Well, I would suggest planning some things, right? So if you're the average type of person, generally speaking, average people will not think of ways to improve situations for people around them because they're so worried about what's going on in their own life. If you are that type of person, I would suggest reading some books and realizing that listen, your life is really only going to be satisfying to you if you end up helping someone in some way or form. If that comes down to having kids and helping this life that you forced to be in the world to live life, so be it. If you decide that you want to take the approach of not having kids right now because you're too young, or because you're not ready, or because you don't have the partner, then you should decide to treat society's children like your children. Hard to do, I understand. But use your noodle and you realize you have a lot of skills. You have a lot of perspective. You have things that people genuinely need and require in the society in order to grow and get past their own troubles. And you're not using these things right now because you believe that your impact is minimal and that you don't have enough time in the day. I'm here to wake you up. You have both those things. You have tremendous impact in any given conversation that you have, I promise you. Even you being a passive bystander has a huge impact, okay? And you are something. You are something. You are a human being. And you are no less special than any of those other people you see on television and any of those other people that you respect. You are the same person. You are the same thing. Not the same person, but the same thing. You are capable of the same. Just a matter of little incremental changes that make you think, 5 years down the line, is what I'm doing going to really make a difference? Okay, so fixing the mindset into actually trying to help society. That will immediately, if you succeed in doing this, that will immediately propagate you thinking about ways to make that happen, right? So, when you start thinking about ways to make that happen, you'll realize that there's short-term things you can do, moment things you can do, and there's very long-term things that you can do, and both of those things require immediate effort, and both of those things have payoffs, right? Immediate effort, a lot of the time, won't have payoffs. If you decide that every day I'm going to go out of my way to make people a little happier and go and smile and have a good time, that actually might have some immediate benefits, because then people will smile back at you and you'll actually enjoy your life and feel like you're important, which is what I do a lot of the time to make myself feel important. But then you do that enough and you do that every day, and then you realize one day that you don't actually get what you got the other days, and then you'll think to yourself, damn, I should not do this thing anymore because I'm not getting an immediate payoff. 5 years from now, if you keep being happy and satisfied and bringing other people up with you, your charisma is going to be so impactful that you will have necessarily more career opportunities, more social, financial opportunities, more soulful, societal opportunities than most other people around you, because they didn't do the work, the daily work. The daily work. We must do it. And that's what I'm trying to encourage my friends to do. Yesterday, which was hilarious to me, I was playing some video games with my friends. And one of my friends called me a workaholic. A workaholic? And I was thinking to myself, God damn, what the hell have I done to cause this man, someone that genuinely I believe works as hard as me, if not harder, to call me a workaholic? I was kind of proud of myself. I think it's good. Workaholic means I'm 5 years ahead planning a holic. Anyway, I talk more about figuring out your purpose in life in this video. And it's really just boils down to some really simple steps, but you got to do some thinking. Got to do some thinking, and I'll walk you through some of the thinking. So go check it out. I'll see you over there. And remember, actualize your potential. Take care.